think we're back. I think my crash out was reasonable. Yay, crash out averted. Oh, God, I hate technology. Technology upsets me viscerally. God damn it. Everything should be working properly now. Hello? That sucks. Why is it? It's so fucking hot today. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I'm dying. Bazinga. I am so very upset. I'm so very tired. Very upset. I hate having to call customer service for anything because it's always unfortunate because the other person doesn't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. Uh. Alternate. You, why? Why must it always? Why must you always say gooner in my chat? Who are you saying it to? You saying it to me? Are you calling me a gooner? Why? Anyways, you know the answer. I don't. You literally, you don't. You all you ever do is show up in my chat like once every other stream, and you just say gooner, and then you just leave. I'm like, and I'm just like, who are you calling a gooner? Also, Ultimate, I remember ages ago, you were the one who was telling me to draw more like half naked men. So who are you calling a gooner, you gooner? Pot calling the kettle black. Now, aren't we? Hmm? Are you not, though? I didn't say that. I didn't specify whether I was or not. Or might be drawing peak right now. I do. I am drawing peak right now. I need a. Can I crash out for a second right now um on ow, Jesus, my cat just scratched my leg. Hold on, I need to let her out. Okay, so to explain what happened, my upload speeds have been being miserable for like the past almost month now. For some reason, in the middle of the week at exactly 5 p.m. PST. I don't know why. And I'm going to chalk it up to just my ISP being fucking abysmal and deciding to throttle the speeds for the upload speeds at that time because and it's I was on the phone with the customer service person trying to get it all sorted out because I was literally about to just call and be like, why is my internet just not working? you know. But I had to be calm, collected, and specify, hey, listen, um, so my download speed is not the issue, but for some reason my upload speed just never wants to work. What's the deal with that? How come it's so specific, and how come it's at specific times of the day consistently? And they're like, well, are you sure it's not your equipment? And I'm like, I'm sure it's not my equipment because I've reset my equipment multiple times. Now, like, I don't know. And then she was like, okay, well, let me check. So she's like, oh, yeah, I'm seeing like these weird dips for you. And I'm like, yeah, weird, huh? Obviously, I know why it's happening. She also kind of explained, she offhandedly kind of explained it too. She was like, yeah, well, this, this company, they're really obsessed with like upload speeds always being consistent, and they want it to be the top of the line or not upload speed, download speeds being the top of the line download speeds. And they're like super, obsessed with that. And they really are trying to push for like highest gigabyte download speed and all that stuff, but they kind of don't really care too much about upload. And I'm like, that's unfortunate because I do, and that's the only reason I'm paying so much. So if that's not gonna work, then I don't know what we're gonna do. Um, but I mean, I can't make any reasonable like threats or anything because like they literally have the monopoly in the area, and I have no other choice but to use this internet provider. But she doesn't know that. So, I had my little moment, and then she was essentially like, "Okay, I'm gonna do like a manual like reconnection thing, right?" So essentially, she just rebooted my router and my modem remotely and just like reset the signal essentially, and it completely fixed it. And I'm like, wow, it's crazy that all of a sudden it just started working like it should be. It's almost like they realized that I became aware of the fact that they're throttling upload speeds, and they hit the switch to be like, oh no, turn upload speeds back on for this specific area. I wonder if that's the case. Anyways, if your internet service is never working, remember to call your internet service provider and tell them, hey, I will just straight up cancel my service if you don't fix this. And they will literally turn the make internet work switch back on. Because, yeah, but anyways, that's what I was dealing with, and that's why I was down for like 30 minutes while I had that fixed. Now let's hope it stays fixed, because if it does go down again, then I will definitely have a major crash out, and then I will call them and be like, what the fuck? Anyways, internet good now. We get back to drawing Kimberly. I hope everybody is doing well. I just had to, yeah, I had to just like let that out a little bit. All right, let's hopefully get back to just drawing without any more interruptions, because I'm gonna lose it otherwise. All right, where was I? Oh yeah, I think I mostly am done with the sketch. Just do one final check for proportions. I don't know what it is about like specifically my issue with sensitivity settings with tablets, but I always have like, I don't know. I feel like I always have issues with the way I set my sensitivity for pens and stuff. I also turn off tilts on a lot of my brushes because I don't really care for tilt on digital brushes, to be honest. Mm, okay. Anyways, what was I even talking about before? Like, before my internet decided to just shit itself. I don't remember. I remember I was like mid conversation of something, and then I just saw somebody in chat be like, "Uh oh," and then that's when I saw everything just dying. Oh well. I'm just double checking that everything is still working properly. The good thing is that I didn't close most of my programs. Like when the stream went down, I just kept them like up, and I just was dealing with the internet issue. Hmm. Okay. What was using, or was it this one? Why do I have so many of like the same kind of brush? Why am I like this? Oh, I'm so ready for summer to be over. I'm sick of sweating, man. I'm sick of just being so sweaty all the time. I want the cold again. I want the fall. I want the windy days and sweaters. He's what? What do you mean what? I said I want. Are you gonna? Why? You know what, Jabber? You gotta stop turning everything into like a innuendo or something freaky. Sorry, I just got here. I'm so mentally exhausted after the customer service call. The worst part about like I will say one thing. I think one of the worst parts about like any customer service call usually for like anything tech related is that you know for a fact that the person on the customer service end of things like they they are not prepared to know as much as you are going to tell them if you are somebody who is very like tech savvy, right? So like in my case, it's like I'm talking about, hey, upload speed and consistency and all this stuff, and I'm talking about like just in general, like what I use it for and whatnot. And they're like, okay, and I'm just like, look, I like my whole thing is like, look, I just want it to be stable. That's it. Like, how can I get it to just be stable again, right? I had a conversation with one of my coworkers because I hate when my other coworkers, like ones that I'm like close with or like, chill with, that I tell like, oh, I'm an artist. Like I tell them, oh yeah, I draw and all this stuff and whatnot, right? Um, when they tell other coworkers that I'm not super close with that I'm an artist and stuff, you know, and then they'll come up to me like, "Oh, so and so told me you're an artist. Can I see your stuff?" And I'm like, "Oh, you son of a bitch! Why?" So I've learned my lesson. I now no longer tell people I'm an artist at work because the moment that they ask, "Can I see your art?" and I have to scroll through like big booba anime women drawings to find something half decent to show them, I'm like, here, this." And then you get hit by the best question I think any artist will ever be asked ever. Um, hey, yo, bro, hey, my dude, can you make me a logo? And it's like, no, no, I cannot. And they're like, but you draw, and I'm like, yes, I draw. I don't graphic design. That's a different discipline. And they're like, what do you mean? And I have to explain to them that it's a whole different thing to learn, and that they need to hire a graphic designer, not an artist, or not an illustrator specifically. Like, yo, bro, could you draw a logo? I can attempt, but it's not going to be what you want. Like, can I do typography? Like, no, absolutely not. No logo. It's always logos. I don't understand too. And it's always like from the worst person you know. They'll always be like, yo, bro, can you draw me a logo? And it's like, what could you possibly need a logo for? Like you are the least business savvy person I've ever seen. Like what could you possibly be advertising? And usually they'll be like, oh, because I have a cousin or something who does this. And I'm like, well, you tell your cousin that they need to find a graphic designer, not just some random artist that they know. I had family members also do the same. Hit me with the "Can you draw a logo for us?" thing, and I'm like, "Bro, I know you. You're not gonna do jack shit with that logo. No, I'm not drawing you one." Or if they're like, "Oh, come on," I'll be like, "All right, fine. This is my price," and they'll be like, "What do you mean you're charging?" And I'm like, "I'm not gonna do it for free, you bitch." That's the worst. The worst thing is like having people like family members be like, "Oh, you're not gonna draw it for free?" I'm like, "No, no, I'm not gonna draw it for free. Like I do this for a living and for myself." I feel like every artist goes through that experience at least once of the can you draw me a logo or can you design me a thing or do that or can you draw me, which is like the most like the generic one that everyone always gets. It's like, oh my god, you're so good, can you draw me? And it's like, probably, but will I? No. You know who are the meanest people you will ever encounter in terms of like artists and stuff? Caricature artists. Caricature artists are the meanest fucking people ever, because holy hell. Like, I know people will go and ask for a caricature, but like sometimes I'll see some caricatures and I'm like, fuck, dude, that's diabolical what you just did to that person, you know? It's like there's cartoonifying people and then there's like destroying them. Like, part of me kind of wants to get into doing caricatures just because of how like you just get away with just being mean. Speaking of, have you guys ever has anybody ever seen? And I know this was going around the internet like a month ago. The Ringo Starr like puppet that was made for like a TV show in the UK. That is like the most like egregious thing I think I've ever seen. It is probably one of my favorite puppets I've ever seen of anything, but also it's so mean to Ringo Starr. It's kind of insane. Anyways, I'm actually trying to do line art for this drawing. Crazy, I know. Crow actually trying to do clean line art. I haven't seen that, but also every time someone brings up Ringo Starr, I confuse them with the lizard movie Rango. How do you what? Have you never listened to a Beatles song before in your life? Oh, I'm sorry, I forget I'm old. Fucking hold on, maybe I could pull it up for context. Hold on. Hey, you're back. I'm back. I need to explain something to people. All right. So 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 earlier I was talking about the Ringo Starr puppet, and I need to give an example of this because it'll be perfect. I heard their music, but I couldn't name the members to save my life. There's Paul, John, Ringo, George, uh, Scrangus, um, Tommy, Brungo, and Phil. Those are the Beatles. Now I will leave it up to you to figure out which ones I made up. Let's show up. There we go. So for context, this is what Ringo Starr looks like, right? This is a young Ringo Starr. Hold on here. Let me. No, no. Eh. For context, that's like a young Ringo Starr right there, right? And this is older Ringo Starr, right? You look like this. So this is the Ringo Starr. Oh, I saved my save. This was the puppet that they made of him. This horrid creature. I, it's like how did you get there from like yeah, like this is the puppet they made of Ringo Starr, and again, just for comparison's sake, this is what he looks like. And for some reason they're like, nah, this is Ringo right there. It's Ringo Starr from the Beatles. It's like, good lord, they did him so fucking dirty. Insane. Anyways, that's what I mean by like caricature artists. They are the meanest people in the world, and they get away with it because like you asked for it. This is what you're getting. Saw that and now I want to leave. I think that's how most. I think that's how most people react to Ringo. Unfortunately, it's a bit of an odd fellow, that Beatle. Looks like she should be on Mr. Meaty. That show was insane. For anybody who caught that show while it was airing, what a fucking surreal fever dream of a goddamn show that Nickelodeon had at the time. Nothing beats a Jet. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Anyways, yeah, those were the Beatles, Jabir. Did you? Yeah, you thought there was only five? How could you forget about Brungus, my favorite Beatle? There's Brungus, then there's Sneaky Willie. Um, who else? Who else was in the Beatles? Winston Churchill. Beatle actually is oh god, what's his name? Uh Ed Sheeran. He was pretty good Beatle. Didn't care for his later works, to be honest. Heracross? That's a Pokemon. You're not gonna dupe me. All right, I'm not gonna fall for your trickery there. My favorite beetle is the ladybug. Same. If you really want to see like one of the funniest like Beatles related pieces of media ever, you should look up when Chuck Berry was performing with the Beatles, and then then John brought Yoko Ono, and then she just started like screaming into a microphone, and then the look on Chuck Berry's face is insane. I feel like the Beatles in general, when it comes to like music, they're like they're old as shit, right? And like I do think they get equated into the genre of like dad rock because it's like what a lot of like dads listen to. But I feel like, if you were a kid who like went through like an alt rock phase at some point, there was a point where you listened to at least a little bit of Beatles, right? And you were like, Hey Jude's not a bad song. Like, what are you gonna say, that the Beatles sucked? It's like they kind of were like, you know, They kind of spearheaded a lot of genres. Now, do I still actively listen to the Beatles? No, not really. If it comes on, I don't. Yeah, I'm not mad or anything. I'm just like, oh hey, you know. Do you think like do you think that the youth nowadays will look at bands that we listen to? By we, I mean everybody who's like above the age of um 27. Do you think they'll look at the music that we listen to, like Blink 182, and been like, "Oh, dude, I love the classics," you know? And then you feel that feeling inside where you're like, "Oh shit." Blink 182 was like 30 years ago. "40 years, I'm going to say I stand Luna. My grandchildren are going to expedite my admission to the old folks' home." I still don't know who Luna is. That's a K-pop thing, right? Yes, sir. Okay. Just making sure. I'm not as versed in the K-pop world. I was talking about this yesterday, uh, but apparently the song "Golden" from K-pop Demon Hunters is like the number one on the billboards, like the top 100 billboards, and it's like the first time. It's the first time a group has gotten onto the top 100, and it's the first time like a K-pop song has gotten on there, quote unquote, a K-pop song. Um, and apparently, a lot of K-pop fans are not too pleased by that. Um, because because the reasoning being it's like, oh well, they're not, it's not even like a real band, and it's not even like technically real K-pop, and it's like I think a lot of times people get like upset about things for the wrong reasons, right? And it's like I think you should use that opportunity to kind of be like, oh yeah, if you like that, hey, you should check out these actual K-pop groups instead of just being like this doesn't deserve it or this deserves it more. It's like, listen, nobody's ever gonna like a party pooper. That's just the reality of things, right? So if you're gonna try like to prove your point, you gotta win people over to your side, not just be like this thing is bad because I think it is. You know? Gives me real bad because even though this sing in English, it's still K-pop. The VAs are Korean. Their parts in Korea. Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't like literally the vocalists for the three main girls? Aren't they all literally like actual K-pop, like you know, stars? Wasn't that the whole point? Is that they got like actual K-pop stars to do like the vocals for like all the girls? I wish. Was that not the case? regardless, I think yeah, I think any moment when like something that exists within a niche genre that you like becomes uh from my understanding they're actual singers, rappers, but they don't actually have careers and say, wait, no, I thought they were actually like famous. Hold on. K-pop, you know, Jaber, are you sure you don't mean the voice actors? I'm talking about their singing voices because their singing voices are different people, not their voice actors. Um, because for Rumi, the main woman, the main girl in it, her voice actor is Arden Cho, but her singing voice is EJ. I hope I'm saying that correctly. AJ, who is known for her work with Red Velvet, aespa, Twice, Nimix, Le Seraphim, a bunch of groups, and then hmm, well, as far as I know, they did get people who work within the K-pop like industry to do the voices or to do the singing. But again, I'm not a part of that world, so I can't really like say to the validity of that. But regardless, what I'm saying is that like if something that you enjoy that's like a bit more niche starts gaining popularity because of something else, uh, then don't take it as like a oh people are uneducated and this thing shouldn't have the praise that it's getting. It's like no. Use that to be like, hey guys, if you like this, maybe you should check out these people, or this group or something, right? Yeah, you have it right. My bad. No. I was just wondering because I remember that was one of the big deals is that they got like one of the members of like a group to be the main girl. Mm. She helped produce a lot of my favorite releases from last year. Well, there you go. Mm. God, ugh. Something about the brush dynamics for this brush that I'm just like ugh. Like I like the texture of it overall, but like the dynamics are always just like ugh. Oh yeah, I wanted to say that like I am planning on. I said this like before, and I said it in Discord, but I'm gonna revamp the supposed mascot for the stream because which is the little crow. I don't think I'm gonna go with the name Crowlings. I don't know, something about that name. Like it's funny, but I don't know if I want to like commit to that. Um, but I do gotta redesign that little feller because he's a little too simplistic for like a mascot kind of feel. I'm not good at designing like mascot type characters personally, like little cutesy guys and stuff. So I gotta like actually lock in, figure out how one goes about designing like cutesy mascots and stuff. I was really looking at like VTuber mascots, like other VTubers mascots, like from like companies and stuff, just to see like, oh, what's a good kind of like basis for like how to do this kind of thing. Because a lot of people have like bird type mascots, so I'm like What would be the differentiator with mine? Oh my god, it's like I said earlier, everyone and their goddamn mother decided to stream like within this time frame. Tuesday evening, prime time. But yeah, mascot design is like, I don't know. I think in general, like certain types of character design are things you have to like really practice a lot, right? I've been told by people that like, because I say that I struggle with drawing cutesy stuff, but then some people will be like, "What are you talking about? You're really good at drawing cute things," and I'm like, I don't know. I still feel like my capabilities of drawing like moe stuff is like still very low compared to like cool slash sexy stuff. You know what I mean? Like I think my art style always leans closer to like a cooler slash like sexier look than it does like a cutesier look. I mean, on purpose, obviously, because it's like my whole thing is drawing like trying to draw cool stuff. But every once in a while, I do try to draw something that's like kind of on the cutesy like spectrum, but it's like my brain can't wrap its head around it. It's why I always also struggle with drawing chibis. But I feel like that's every artist when they first like start trying to draw chibis. It's like you will just bang your head against the wall trying to figure out, is this cute proportions or no? I remember there was a YouTube video a while back that was kind of like going into like what is the good proportions for it. I think it was by PCAT, where she was kind of breaking down what makes a good chibi and how does it work and proper proportions and not making it look uncanny. I think I was also watching a stream by Ina from Hololive, who also was like breaking down how to do chibis because her chibis are really good. But then again, she's literally a master at everything she draws. Yeah, I wanna like God. That's the answer is always nothing stopping you from doing this. But like, man, anytime I see artists who are just like the triple thread of like graphic designer, animator, illustrator, it's just like it gets me because I'm just like fuck, dude. I wish I had learned more of these disciplines earlier on in life. I mean, I was learning animation. Like it's funny because I wanted to get better at drawing so that I could like get better at animating. Like truthfully, that was like the first goal. But then like animating is so time consuming. I ended up just like kind of stopping and being like, what if I just do like comics instead? And then I try to learn how to do comics. Um, but part of me was always like interested in like going back to animation because I really do. I think animation was like what I made me fall in love with art for the first time, truthfully. Because I was that kid definitely in like the late 2000s who was all like, I want to work on anime. I want to go to Japan and work on anime. Um which if I had kept at it and I'd like really practiced, maybe that could have happened because nowadays there's a lot of western animators and working on a lot of big productions I think the first time I heard about like a western animators working on something was it One Punch Man or was it like it was One Punch Man or Kekai Sensen, but it was essentially Bones at first had hired um an animator named Bahi JD. Was it No, it was Space Dandy. Space Dandy was like the first time I'd really heard about it. And they had hired this artist called Bahi JD, who was a Swiss Scandinavian animator. Um, and is now like very prominent within the anime industry. But like I remember seeing his art pop up and being like, wondering who the hell he was, and it's like, oh, it's some Scandinavian, artist who just like got hired to work at these like anime studios. And then from there I started seeing more, and like now you have uh you have like Western animators directing like whole like almost whole episodes, I believe, of anime, like with One Piece, because One Piece like really like leaned into a lot of Western animators. Um, Same with Jujutsu Kaisen. The in that regard, I think Mappa was literally just like they needed all the help they could get to fucking keep working on stuff. But I mean, even Studio Trigger has like really like, geared up on hiring overseas animators as well to help out with stuff. I think it's just a norm because there's so many people in the West who desperately want to work as like actual animators, like actually doing animation, you know? Which there's just like no opportunities to do animation here in the West unless you have an indie studio. But I think it's cool. I know younger me would have been like jumping at that. Maybe younger me would have been more motivated if he had heard like if that was happening sooner, right? Like Western artists actually getting to work in the anime industry like proper, even remotely. Because I think the thing that like really discouraged me was like people would have accounts of like, oh yeah, they just don't hire Western animators and you know, um, stuff like that. I think that's when I did the pivot to like, oh, maybe I'll work on doing concept art. Maybe that'll be like my thing that I focus on because I like doing character design and stuff. But I think that's why like my goal is kind of pivoted when it comes to like things I want to work on, and it's like I would love to get the opportunity to kind of like maybe not animate on like a show or something, but getting to do like promo art for it or something, sort of similar to like the stuff with Tekken. Mm. Yay, my internet is holding up. Hooray. Bum, 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 bum. Oh yeah, Chad. For any art interested people out there, what kind of studies would you like me to like cover on stream at some point? Like when it comes to like art studies and like learning and whatnot. What would you be interested in seeing? Like what's a topic that you're like, oh, this is something I've struggled with, but I want to like learn more about, right? Because I was gonna do a lot of like anatomy studies again. Um, like general anatomy studies, and I was wondering if that's like what people would like help with as well. Because I do feel like anatomy is like the one that like people really struggle with knowing how to push. I'll probably make a post about it for the Discord as well, like asking people because I do plan on doing like a proper studying stream. Anatomy sounds great. I struggle with feet even though I'm a jury main. Cafe, your anatomy is like honestly fantastic. Also, hi Cafe. I haven't seen you here in a minute. Guys, one of my favorite artists ever just showed up in chat. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm probably gonna be doing like anatomy focused studies for sure. I think one thing I struggle with drawing is like backs. Feet feet I don't like I don't really have too much of an issue with drawing feet, to be honest. That don't think too deeply about that. That doesn't mean anything. But usually with feet, like I don't struggle with drawing them. Hands I do. That's for sure. You stream during my early morning, so usually I'm still asleep. Oh. I see, I see. Wait, Cafe, not to like dox you, and you don't have to say specifically where you're from, but are you from the EU? Are you from Europe or Asia? What time is it right now in Europe? Is it nighttime in Europe right now? I might be wrong. Oh, you're from C. Okay, that makes more sense. I don't know why I thought Europe. Close to 9. I see, I see. Cafe, why are so many Southeast Asian artists just like completely cracked? Like it's kind of insane. Like anytime I find an artist and I'm like, "Oh my god, their stuff is amazing." And then they're from Southeast Asia and I'm just like, "What is going on? Why are they so goated?" Is it because Southeast Asia is haunted? I've gotten confirmation from several Southeast Asians that I know that yes, Southeast Asia is indeed haunted. Because they struggle with electricity, so when they draw, they have to make it. Oh my god, the time struggle. Their speed running art skills. That's crazy. That's actually insane. I must draw. I must draw faster than electricity, faster than the speed of light. Sonic speed. It's always a south. It's either Southeast Asian artists are cracked, and so are like any Latino artists or any Hispanic artists as well. Or Brazilian artists. Brazilian artists are also extremely cracked. There's also a lot of Brazilian artists in the FGC. Is something else I noticed. But ironically, feet have never been like a hard thing for me to draw. And I talked about this once before on stream. I actually have an example here. So I'm doing this other swimsuit Belfie. This is my OC. But a good example is like this foot. Like I don't know what it is about it, but like I just managed to get my head. I imagine what does a foot look like if it's curved, and I'm like that, and I did it all in one go. Do I have a jury foot drawing? I think I have one. Hold on. Let's see. Let's observe. Have I drawn more feet this year? Oh, this counts technically. So like, you know, that's a decent foot, right? Not a jury foot drawing, but it is a cami foot drawing. But that works, right? Nice skin tone too. Thank you. It took several attempts to get it just right. All right, let me see if I have a jury foot drawing. I thought there was one in here. Oh, here you go, Cafe. This is the one that got really popular on Twitter. Can you tell me why it got really popular on Twitter? I don't know. People really like Don to Don, right? That's why, right? Right? And not anything else, right? Yeah, I'm not bad at drawing feet. That's for sure. Also, man, I kind of cooked with this Seiko drawing. True. I might just repost it just to see what the engagement would be like from the freaks. Oh yeah, Cafe. You remind me. I still need to draw your OC at some point. I have it bookmarked. But I would also appreciate if you send me a cheeky little Discord message with a PNG of your OC because I really like them. So I get around to drawing them at some point. Also, you guys should definitely follow Cafe. They're going through an Uma Musume arc right now, and their Uma Musume art is really good. I'll draw Belfi too, of course. I mean, you don't have to, but I appreciate it. I need to draw more Umas. I was drawing Tachyon and Taiki Shuttle, but I need to draw more. I think currently my most like anticipated Uma is we probably have the same most anticipated one cafe, but it's literally Manhattan Cafe. I want Manhattan Cafe so badly. Currently my strongest Uma wasn't even my intention. Oh, Taiki Shuttle is also my strongest Uma too. Taiki Shuttle's just really strong in general. She's probably one of the best pace chasers in the game currently. Um on top of like just I have her at double less speed, so whenever I do the team trials, she always wins. Every time. She's like the MVP. Um Taiki Shuttle goated, yeah. And then for medium runners, Tachyon is my strongest soldier. I think for sprinting, who do I have for sprinting? Oh, Silent Suzuka. Silent Suzuka is like my number one sprinter right now. I love Tachyon. Tachyon is always going to be my number one Uma. Masaue Uma is Gentle Donna. I'm actually really excited for Narita Bryan and I forget what the name of the Uma is, but she's the one who's obsessed with like Uma Musume's version of Kamen Rider, and so all her abilities are based off of Kamen Rider. Because I don't know what it is with the Uma Musume devs, but they really fucking love Kamen Rider and putting Kamen Rider references into that goddamn game. Agnes Digital. Agnes Digital is one of them, but no, I'm talking about another one. Where like part of her card like is even like you see the common writer in her card. I forget what her name is, but the fact that Tachyon herself is a reference to common writer W. Um, who is it? I think Sakura Bakushino does. Sakura Bakushin does the fucking Ichigo common writer Ichigo pose. Hey Fiery, what's up? There's a lot, and if you watch the anime, there's even more common writer references, especially with Gold Ship. Whose fine leg are we drawing today? That would be. Oh god, that's not the right one. That would be Kimberly from Street Fighter 6. I'm drawing the rest of the Street Fighter swimsuits. So we're on to Kimberly now. Were y'all talking horses? We were talking some Uma. It's okay. It's just like right now I'm struggling with I've been trying to do Grass Wonder runs, but her campaign is so fucking difficult for some reason. I don't know why. I've been struggling with doing Grass Wonder runs. I was doing them because, because the real life horse recently passed away, so I'm like, I'll try to do some Grass Wonder runs just to see. Meanwhile, her run is just like fucking it's three different race types and you have to like keep her stats consistent across three and I'm like, "Holy hell." Yeah. Rip Grass Wonder. You want to hit a name and Google immediately hits me with Grass Wonder build? Yeah. You want to get even more sad about like horse facts thanks to Uma Musume that I found out? So the real life Taiki Shuttle passed away in I believe 2007? No, not 2007, 2014 I believe. Passed away a while ago, right? And the real life Taiki Shuttle was like the horse was best friends with Meisho Doto, who is also in Uma Musume, who was usually hanging out with TM Opera, right? Um, yeah, she's the Yeehaw. So the original horse passed away a while ago, right? But was best friends with this other horse, Meisho Doto, and they would literally get moved together. They would spend so much time together, and eventually, when Taiki Shuttle passed away, uh, Meisho Dodo was very, very sad. And um, to comfort Meisho Doto, they actually let him wear Taiki Shuttle's blanket that he would have over him, like constantly. Uh, so you will usually see Meisho Doto wearing Taiki Shuttle's blanket as like a form of comfort, and it's like the sweetest slash saddest thing ever. The good thing is that Meisho Doto eventually like made more friends in farm animals. Uh Made more friends in farm animals around where they where they were being kind of held. And so Meisho Doto eventually got hit with the title King of Goats because just got along really well with goats and is best friends with the little farm cat. If you watch the anime, you will see Meisho Doto hanging around with goats and also a cat. And they are literally inspired by the real life cats and goats that Meisho Doto would hang out with. So he's not lonely. There you go. Even after Taiki Shuttle passes away, he's not lonely. But I just thought that was like very cute, you know. Precious horses. Also, apparently, adding on to the Grass Wonder thing, apparently later in life, like when they retired, Grass Wonder and Goldship were actually like really close too, and they would hang out a lot all the time, and you know, Goldship lost a friend. Listen, don't get mad at me. I keep seeing artists drawing like super sad things of Grass Wonder, and it makes me sad. I'm sorry, I had to hit you with the sadness beam. Oh, hey, Mystics. Welcome, welcome. I hope you have been doing well. What the hell, man? I just got here. Listen, Uma Musume has opened me to, like, fucking so much sad horse facts. So much sad and cool horse facts, you know? Don't look up what happened to Silent Suzuka. Just don't. Because that one's, like, real sad. Perusing some horse media. The animes are actually really good for like telling you kind of the story of what goes on with the actual IRL horses, because a lot of the stories of the actual girls is based off like the careers of the real horses. So one example is there was I forget if it was a season of the anime or if it was one of the movies, but it was revolving around Rice Shower and Mejiro McQueen, who were rivals in real life, but that story is very sad because Rice Shower was very hated in real life because Mejiro McQueen was essentially the favorite for a lot of people to win a lot of races and was set up to win. I don't remember how many consecutive races in a row, but like was set up to like break some record, but was like it was like taken from by Rice Shower, and so Rice Shower was like very reviled by the horse racing community for that, and was treated as almost like a villain or like bad luck for that. So in the game, Rice Shower is like very negative, like as a thing, and is like they even have an arc where Rice Shower beats McQueen during a race, and like everyone boos her, and it's like the most heartbreaking thing ever. But then they have a follow up race in which it looks like McQueen's about to win again, but Rice Shower like like catches up to her, and it like cuts to like you know it cuts to a Rice Shower passing McQueen, saying to herself, "I'm not a villain, I'm a hero." And then like it gets you just right in your heart because you're just like, yeah, you know what, Rice Shower, you are a hero. And it's just like, ugh. I think I've seen clips of that. Yeah, people have made a bunch of edits of that in particular because like, goddamn. No, the edits that have actually almost brought me to the verge of tears every time I see them is the edgy looking one. Yes, the edgy looking one is Rice Shower. People make edits of fucking Haru Urara to that song, the little horsey song. Uh, and every time I see one of them, it makes me want to fucking tear up because it activates like my paternal instincts, which I didn't even know I had. I didn't even know I had that. But like anytime I see an edit with Haru Urara and the fucking little horsey song, it makes me want to fucking just burst into tears. Not seen Haru. Haru Urara's story isn't even really that sad. She's just literally like the world's greatest loser. She's just like, I'm literally just happy to be here, and the world is like, we're happy you're here too, Haru. But like whenever people like post stuff like that of her just trying her hardest, it's like, you know what, you are trying your hardest, Haru Urara. You are. Which is not the edit. Hold on. I could find it. Hold on. Is this it? I've been seeing Cinderella Grey and was disappointed that it wasn't the horse's name because it kind of fucks. Well, the story of Oguri Cap is even crazier. Like in general, like Cinderella Grey is awesome, like animation wise and like story wise, because like Oguri Cap's story is like crazy. Probably one of the most famous race horses in Japan. Um, and I believe the anime is just getting into her rivalry with uh oh god, what wow, who was it? Setting Oguri Caps. Yeah, you see the funny clips of Oguri Cap, and then you get to the point where you actually see her race, and it's just like, oh shit, it's serious, it's for real, because she's a monster on the racetrack. Tamamo Cross. That's who it is. She's racing Tamamo Cross. And then she's gonna eventually race Super Creek, which is going to be even fucking crazier. You should look up the manga, by the way, because those panels are insane. The way that they draw them, like they literally look like monsters. There's a manga, yes, that's what Cinderella Grey is based off of the Oguri Cap manga. Yeah, I believe all of Cinderella Grey is based off of the manga. Yeah, the art in that manga goes fucking crazy. Hold on, I literally have an example here for anyone who is all like, what? How crazy could this fucking manga possibly be about horse girls racing? This is a panel from one of the from the manga. It's so intense for fucking seemingly no reason. It's insane how intense it is. Hold on. I think there's one of Super Creek in the mug because Super Creek looks even crazier. Wait, I think I found another image. Again, for some reason they make Oguri Cap look like a fucking demon in this manga. Here's another example. Like just straight up fucking like Akuma levels of just presence. She seems nice. I like her. Let me see if I can find the Super Creek panel. Is it this one? Oh god, why is it so small? That wants to yeah, she's this is the okay, for context, this is a character who wants to play Goo Goo Babies with you. This is really small. I'm gonna fight. It's gonna be shit quality, but this is what she looks like in the manga. This is the one who wants to play Goo Goo Babies with you. A monster. Goo Goo Christ. Oh, this one's actually like decently sized. Yeah, this is the Goo Goo Babies woman. This is what she's fucking actually like. Again, the Uma Musume manga is like insanely intense, and the art is also extremely good. I recommend it. It's actually pretty fucking crazy. Anyways, horse racing, girl horses. Just arrived to the part where Oguri meets her new class, and I only recognize her name. Yeah, I didn't realize that that's the kind of character that Super Creek actually was because in the game, her characterization is just she's like a soft motherly figure, and then you see her in the fucking manga, and she's just like, I will crush anyone within my path. In the anime, they present her alongside all the others, like, yeah, horse, 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 Super Creek horse. Didn't expect her to be the final boss. Okay, back to working on my art. I got distracted by Uma talk. The horse girls, they're taking over my mind. Sorry for stoking the horse flames. No, stoking at all. I will relish any opportunity to talk about Uma Musume. Here's the thing, right? A lot of people when they first like encounter Uma Musume, they get this thing, right? They get perplexed by it. because it's something so inherently like ridiculous at its core, right? It's anime girls based off real horse, like real racing horses that are running around the track racing like actual racehorses. It's such a product that you would look at and be like, yeah, yeah, I do believe Japan would make something like that. That seems up their alley. But it's delivered with so much heart, sincerity, and appreciation for the sport that it does something to you. It makes you kind of also like relish that just unbridled, respect for what it is and its sincerity, And I think that's the key to making people truly fall in love with something is presenting it as sincerely as possible. Because when you present things with irony, right? Or with heavy irony, like especially something like ridiculous or like a ridiculous concept, it ends up having the opposite effect where people will only realize like will only remember it for its ironic nature and not for what it was trying to do or what it was trying to say, you know? And I think the same can be said about stuff like, for example, Superman. The most recent, like with the most recent Superman movie, it's like the reason why it worked so succinctly, is because they present Superman with so much sincerity and heart that it resonates with you. And I think it's something that so many people had like been missing in their lives for the longest time is this idea that, we can enjoy things with sincerity and it doesn't have to be like, drowned in irony for us to appreciate the fact that this is a story of a dude who dresses up in blue, wears red underwear, can fly, shoot laser beams out of his eye, and just wants to do something good and help the world and save people. Like in fact it inspires people to want to be that way, to want to sincerely be better people, to help out others. And I think that there's just so much beauty in that because people don't realize how much that means to them. And I think that's why something like Uma Musume right now became so popular, like blew up so much. Cute anime girls, it helps because obviously, you know, cute anime girls will sell anything. But I think the cute anime girls are besides that in that they again present themselves with such sincerity and such heart for what it is that it makes people just fall in love with it. And that's why I always tell people like, dude, don't even worry about what people think of you enjoying something. Like enjoy the things you do to the fullest, right? Um don't layer it with irony, just enjoy what you enjoy and others will others will notice, others will take notice of what you have to say about this thing that you enjoy or the way that you present it or the way that it presents itself. It's just like it's really cool to just be sincere, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The long-winded thing that I was trying to say, you know? Like hell yeah, dude, be cringe, be free, enjoy what you enjoy. Who cares? Life's short. Oh my god. I'm very happy sincerity is back on the menu. It never left from me, truthfully. I've always been somebody who's like worn his heart on his sleeve. I've always like liked the things that I liked unironically. Um I know for many people it's like a lot harder to have that kind of, that kind of I guess confidence. Um and I wasn't always like this like even when I was younger, of course. Like I was very shy and like didn't talk about my interests that much. Um but I truly think that you can find, beauty in the things that you love, like, whether it's a game, a movie, a TV show, a book, or something. It's like just being sincere about how much you love it and what it's trying to say or how it changed your life, I think is beautiful, you know? Oh, hey, Digsaw, what's up? What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Get somehow irony poisoned for a few years there didn't help grouping myself with people who were also like that back then. I mean, a lot of people were. You couldn't avoid it, you know? Most media that we consume. Sorry, I'm letting my cat back in. Hold on. Most of us were being like bombarded by media that was promoting irony, right? Like what was one of the most popular like animated shows within the last like 5 years, right? Not even 5 years. I think it was even before that. But like what was one of the most popular shows for the longest time that like ended up becoming like a big like like thing? Rick and Morty, right? Rick and Morty became so popular and it was so steeped in just irony and nihilism and cynicism, like all that stuff, right? And it did something to people's brains where they felt that they had to be like represent pseudo intellectualism in order to present to be interesting or to um like that's the only way to be funny or that's the only way to enjoy things, right? The MCU was full all about irony too. The thing is that it wasn't at first. The MCU was something that at first was very honest about what it was trying to do, right? I always tell people that one of my favorite Marvel movies to this day is still the original Captain America, like the first one with like the first of the MCU Captain America movies because it's just like a genuine like adaptation of World War II era Cap. And at no point in that story is he ever like, no, I don't want to. I don't think heroes should do this or that or whatever. He's just like, no, I just want to do the right thing and I want to go stop Nazis and I want to go um, be a hero. Like it's so honest, you know. And a lot of people like don't like that movie or they feel like it's too simple. And I'm like, well, that's what I kind of love about it. It is just simple. It is just telling the story of Captain America being like, I want to help. I want to save people. I want to stop the war, and I want to kill some Nazis. You know. And then along the lines, it started becoming way more cynical and way more ironic, and all that stuff. And I don't. And is there a place for irony in stories? Of course, 100%. But I do feel like at the same time, you know, we should have those hopeful stories that are just trying to be stories. It's part of the reason why I really like the Fantastic Four, the new Fantastic Four movie so much is because it's just trying to be like a silly, goofy comedy movie, or not comedy movie, comic book movie. You know, it's trying to capture that golden era age of comic books that were just about the amazing future with flying cars and heroes that use stretchy powers and all that stuff. Like there's I'm glad that we're reaching that era of comic book movies now with both Superman and Fantastic Four. You spam the chat. No, you're fine, Dixel. Spam chat all you want. But yeah, that's it's something that I've kind of realized within like recent years, and like also wondering why is Uma Musume so successful? You know, part of it is just that like I think the gameplay is very interesting because it is like essentially a roguelike, right? I think that's the part of Uma Musume that people don't really talk about enough is the fact that it's actually a really fun roguelike, you know, where you're like, all right, I'm doing a run with this character. This is the kind of build I gotta get. I gotta get these events, and I gotta hope that these events pop off during it and whatnot. You know, so it definitely makes it for like on top of that, it like I said, it presents itself in such a sincere way where it's just like you can't help but like root for the girls. You know. Into today cried many times. What a great season! The entire franchise just oozes with love for their characters, like mostly an outsider, and it's noticeable. Oh yeah, 100%. I need to get around to actually watching the animes as well, like all the seasons in the movie. God, anytime I see clips from the Agnes Tachyon like movie, it just like oh god. Agnes Tachyon too as well. Like I know like the meme with everybody like being like, "Oh my god, she's a freak. I can fix her. I love my freak scientist woman." Like but the story of Agnes Tachyon is actually so interesting because her whole gimmick is that she is constantly trying to find ways to push the limitations of her body because she does not like the idea of reaching a limit. She hates it. She hates being put in a box and thinking like is this enough? Like I can go farther. And I think there's just something so like crazy like it's crazy but it's also like a very human thing to think, right? Cuz as people, we constantly are like, I want to push beyond my limit and all that stuff. So it's like, it's interesting. Oh shit! Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Velvet Cream Knox. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. I'm Crow Corviwing. Sorry, I was like zoomed in here. You can see the full drawing now. Hello. I'm doing some drawing. I'm drawing some Street Fighter characters in swimsuits because tis the season. But welcome everybody. My name is Crow Corviwing. I am a art and fighting game mostly focused streamer. Um, and today we're doing the art. We're mixing both. We're mixing art and fighting games together, and we're just hanging out and doing some drawing. I hope you had a good stream though. What were you up to, if you don't mind me asking? I always like whenever people raid. I always like wondering what were they doing. Like what was the vibe of their stream? What were they playing? I also hope you were not hit by like any ads as soon as you got here. You probably were, but you're yapping and drawing. Oh, you're also drawing. Nice, nice. Well, welcome to more yapping and drawing. We've been yapping about Uma Musume for like the past 30 minutes. I was about to just start talking about Agnes Tachyon, my favorite. That's cool. I hope you had a wonderful stream, and I really appreciate the raid. Shout out to Velvet. You know what? We're gonna do that thing. Slash. Where is it? Where is it? I'm so bad at this. Slash shout out. Is there like a easier command to Is there like an easier command to like shout out people? Because like instead of typing somebody's whole ass like username out. But thank you so much. Usually ask their mods. I don't think my mods are around. Oh goodness. Okay, what else is missing here? I think I just need to draw her. No idea. Probably one of them are watching. It's okay. I don't mind manually shouting somebody out. Base, thank you so much. I appreciate it. What's I saying about Agnes Tachyon? Oh, I like Agnes Tachyon as a character because her whole like thing is about pushing one person's own limits and not like, not just settling, right? It's the idea that she ran her whole career and she was kind of like a monster, but then like she realized she had to stop because she injured her I believe it was her foot or her ankle, but she had injured her ankle because she pushed so far beyond her limit that she literally like, and this is parallels to the real life horse, by the way, pushed beyond its limit so far that it broke its foot, essentially. And that's what happens to Tachyon in the story of Uma Musume, is that she pushes so hard that she literally shatters her foot. And it's crazy. And then it's about her trying to find a way to recover so she can race one last time. Because she's obsessed with the idea of going beyond even that limit. And I think that that's just so, I don't know. It's just so interesting. But I also think the gag of her like constantly trying to test her experiments on other people instead of herself is like so funny. Pretty metal, TBH. It is. It is, Bun. Honestly, a lot of the horses, a lot of the Umas and Uma Musume are actually pretty damn metal if you actually like follow their stories. Kita-san Black is another one where her story is literally about her pushing herself so far that she loses, like, she pushes herself so far that on her final race, because she pushed so goddamn hard, she literally injures her lungs because of how hard she was breathing. And she ends the race, like, gasping, like, for air. And after that, she realizes, oh, I'll never be able to race again after this. This is it. And it's like, oh, it's just so, it gives you that feeling with like, it gives you that same feeling of like watching a sports anime, because that's essentially what Uma Musume is. It's sports anime slash manga, you know. What's wrong with these horses? They want to win, Fiery. That's like, they want to be the number one Uma. Do you know what, Fair? Like, Grass Wonder, ever since Grass Wonder passed away, people have been bringing up the quote that she says uh in the anime, or like in the game, when you like get to the final race with her. Hold on. I want to find it because it goes so hard. They want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Okay. Jabir, honestly, I feel like you would enjoy Uma Musume if you actually like, if you actually gave it a shot. Because, they're also idols, which is awesome. Watch the OG anime when it first came out. Oh, there you go. And cried a little. Yeah. Gonna eat dinner, lurk. Have a good one for sure, Velvet. Thank you so much again for the raid. Played some of it, but uninstalled because it felt like it'd take a while. Really? Still have too many games to complete for attention. I mean, I feel like Uma Musume is actually pretty like if you like go through God, it's hard to explain this, but like with Uma Musume, it feels like you could do one run a day and those runs could go by pretty fast. So you don't have to like necessarily you don't necessarily have to like dedicate so much time to it, really. It is like a pick up your phone, turn it on and play for a little bit kind of game. If you really want to be sweaty in it, then yeah. Warframe nearly caused divorce. I'll stay away from gotcha games. Fiery, if I could be honest about one thing about Uma Musume, it is the one gotcha game that literally you never have to pull for because it doesn't rely on you having to do limited banners realistically because Uma Musume, when a character goes into a banner and when the banner goes away, that character is gets rolled into the regular pools. So like they're not gone. They're not limited. They just get rolled into the normal like pull rate instead of being on a banner. You know, as opposed to other gotcha games where it's like characters no longer on banner, they're gone until they come back. But also they give out so much free currency all the time that you literally never need to spend money unless you're going super hard. It's time wasting. Is it time wasted if you enjoyed it? That's the thing. A lot of us judge time doing things that we enjoy as wasted, but do you truly waste time if the thing that you did brought you some kind of joy or some kind of satisfaction? No, it's time spent. Oh, that's the quote. Fucking at one point when you get towards the end of Grass Wonder's campaign, she says, "There is no path before me, only in my wake." And it's like, Jesus Christ. Final boss shit for real. Booba, indeed. Why is Goldship fucking around like that? Sounds like shit is for real. Because Goldship is just a monster in of herself. She's so good at running that she doesn't need to try. Because in real life, they found out that apparently, Goldship was a pretty decent racer. But in real life, the actual real Goldship like would get into a lot of like situations on the racetrack, would not listen to her jockey or his jockey, and was just a general like problem horse overall, but was a hell of a runner. Then they find out after he retires that apparently he's in such good health that they assume he never actually tried at all. in his racing career and was just built different. Literally, that fuck ass horse. So if you're ever wondering why is the video game version of Gold Ship like that, it's because the IRL version of Gold Ship was also like that. Also, fun fact for any VTuber fans out there as well, I've mentioned this before, but Goldship from the game actually did a live performance with several members of Hololive performing the song Umapyoi from Uma Musume back in 2022. A hell of a fucking thing. That was before it like got like global and like super famous. So it's kind of funny to like look back on that and be like, oh shit. Because technically, Goldship is also a VTuber. You can go find Goldship's YouTube channel, and there is videos of her playing games with several other Uma Musume. It's great. I love brand synergy. I'd have drawn this cable too thick, but who cares? It's for emphasis. Because remember to stream some commission work? You should. That's pretty much the reason why I'm streaming is so like I don't get distracted. It's funny because a lot of people always tell me it's like, "What, you stream to not get distracted?" I'm like, "Yeah." Because if I know that I have an audience watching, it makes me like want to lock in, you know? I always tell people like, look, if you're having trouble like focusing on like a drawing or something, like stream because then you're forced to do something because you can't just sit there doing nothing. Rosie likes to work like that. Yeah, I've been seeing Rosie stream more and more too. Seeing streams makes you want to draw more today. Yeah. That's sort of, I've talked about this before, but like my whole thing with like streaming is like if people come away from my streams being like, I want to draw now, I'm like, then my stream was successful because that's all I want to inspire in people is for them to also draw. Or play fighting games. Either or. I do not, which is unfortunately when we're both busy. Actually, I think I want to keep this under her arm. Besides, streaming is the only place that I get to just like consistently yap about like the things that I enjoy. What up, Diggly? Speaking of streaming, Diggly was just streaming. I saw it because you went live, like essentially at the exact same time I went live earlier, before my internet pooped itself. But then I scared my ISP into not cutting my fucking signal anymore. Hopefully. And I think my cat would once again Like to be let out. Street Fighter servers killed themselves. Deirdre, were you playing on PC? Not Street Fighter servers. Steam maintenance, buddy. Tuesday is Steam maintenance day. So all online games eventually go down during Steam maintenance. Now there was maintenance already at the start of my stream, and then it went down a second time. Oh, so wait, so you got hit by Steam maintenance and then Capcom server maintenance? Wait, actually, we can check this. Street Fighter Twitter. Did you announce a maintenance? No, they did not. They did not tweet out any maintenance or emergency maintenance, so that might have been on Steam. Maybe you should play better so the servers want to stay on next time. Ooh, ooh, ah, ooh. That's why they call you fiery. Cause damn, that burned. It's crazy. You're going into my note. You see, I would never say anything like that. I'd say something much worse. I'm not waking up tomorrow because of fiery. That's crazy. Sorry, I was just checking something real quick. Gonna lurk while I study now. Don't die. I'm fine. Oh no. A VTuber I really like is graduating. Oh, that's sad. Dang. Well, that's not news you want to see. There's a VTuber I like who is in Nijisanji named Rosami, who is one of the few like VTubers who plays fighting games, and she's like a Tekken player, and she just announced she's graduating, which I'm like, damn, that's sad. Rosami Lovelock, yeah, Rosami just announced she's graduating. Damn, that's Harada's favorite VTuber. It's crazy. She literally had Harada in her fucking in her stream chat when she was playing Tekken. That's so sad. Aw. Well, I hope she moves on to to greater things. I think it's always sad whenever like an established personality kind of goes. I was talking about this last year or like towards the beginning of the year when there was like a lot of VTubers kind of just like, graduating, especially from Hololive, that, you know, it could be a like any number of things that causes somebody to move on from some place, right? Just seeking new opportunities, doing different things and whatnot. Um, it happens. I don't think you ever stay in the same place forever, you know? Like, unless you really, really love your job, you don't really have the same job for the rest of your life. You're always kind of like moving around, right? As people, I feel like we're inclined to do that stuff. So, it is sad, though. I remember I remember watching her a lot during the first stage because she was a part of the first Sage Am Slam, which I still think is kind of crazy to look back on that she was in the first Sage Am Slam. Don't worry, Chad. I'll never graduate. You'll never get rid of me. I will haunt you forever. Thank God. Yeah, I'm gonna find a medium out there who can somehow like puppeteer my body or my spirit in a way where I will just constantly be live all the time. Worst news I've heard all day. Good. I will find a way so that I'm the only thing that will be on your screen for the rest of your life. Oh God, you can't escape me, Fiery. No one can. I am eternal. I've talked about it though, about the idea of like, VTuber graduation or retiring and all that stuff. I feel like, you know, as long as you enjoy what you're doing, like, you never feel the need to want to like move on or anything like that. Should I do these kind of eyes or should I just do like how did you do that? Is that just a T? Wait, why does it look like that? It's the power of Christ. Your God can't help you here. He has no sway over me. I am beyond even him. Well, I did what I could. I'm too powerful, I'm sorry. Hey, Serpent Siren. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I think we're ready to do flats, right? Anything else? All right. Look at that line art. Look how crispy it looks. This is actually the cleanest line art I've done in a long time. Hold on, I kind of want to like thicken the layers on the lines on her hair a little bit. Look a little too thin. I got the Wonder Bun approval, which means the world to me because Wonder Bun is an amazing artist and draws hair really, really well and paints really, really good. And you guys should go follow Wonder Bun because they're really cool. They do a lot of cool Bayonetta art. The flow is nice. Thank you. Listen, I will always like gas up my artist buds. Especially in this day and age where like fucking every website imaginable is like, "Oh, you draw? Huh. Too bad nobody will see it." you know. Forget that art. Look at this slop. And it's like, your W goated art as usual for real. Thank you. Huge honor. Right. Yeah. I think, more than ever right now, I think a lot of artists should really just focus on doing stuff for themselves so they don't feel that necessary like feeling of burning out or like they're chasing something. You know what I mean? Because like I do think that that's what's kind of like killing a lot of artists slowly is the fact that they're trying to keep up with all like these algorithm changes and all that stuff. And like, as much as I understand that a lot of people's livelihoods is like based off that stuff, I think with the base that they have, you know, with the base that a lot of like bigger artists have, I don't think they really need to worry too much about like that algorithm stuff as long as they've made a consistent place where people will like see at least some of their stuff. I also think genuinely like Blue Sky is like a much better place for engagement with your actual art like compared to Twitter. And like I know that the fucking conversation was going to be like, "Well, Blue Sky is boring and all this stuff." And it's just like, dude, when I'm on Blue Sky, people actually like engage with my art, say nice things about it and like will actually share it around properly. Like sure, does it get like 1k something each time? No, but like genuinely people are actually looking at it and engaging with it. It's actual people instead of bots. Yeah, exactly. I'd rather engage with people actually liking my stuff instead of blue check mark number fucking 500. Feels like a cesspool, Loki. It is, because it's like the whole gimmick of it is that people like are encouraged to just be as toxic as possible to farm engagement. Like they just have to create controversy, they have to create fights, they have to, they get their $8 a month, and then they got to keep rinse and repeating so that they can have some semblance of clout. And it's like you get tired of it. You get so tired of constantly having to see it all the time, and it's just like I just want to actually see art. Now, the one thing I do wish that Twitter had more than anything was Blue Sky's moderation tools. Um, because man, is it great to scroll through Blue Sky and not be just like fucking flashbanged by not safe for work artists I follow. Instead, I get a menu that's like, "Do you want to look at this art?" And I'm like, "Yes, I would like to look at this when no one is over my shoulder." But yeah, it is very much like a whole different beast. Should her eye be more forward? I feel like it should, shouldn't it? Oh, I messed up. Yeah, it looks much better. Also makes more sense anatomically. Quality of life there for real is insane. Yeah, I don't know. Like I genuinely do vibe with Blue Sky like a lot more because it feels like old Twitter, which is essentially what I want. I don't like new Twitter. I don't like what it is, and I don't like having to deal with all this bullshit. Like people always be complaining about like, well, people on Blue Sky aren't funny. I'm like, then make it funny. Then make it funny. Engage. Make your own memes. Spread them around. Do that. But also, people are starting to realize, yeah, maybe you're not so funny when you're not dunking on people because it's the only way you're interesting. If you have no one to like make fun of actively, hey, guess what? You're not that interesting. It's crazy realizing like seeing people realize that in real time, being like oh maybe I'm not as interesting as I think I am. And it's like yeah no shit, buddy. Your whole personality is literally like talking about other things, not anything that you create yourself. Time for me to get used to Blue Sky, but once I got it, it's so much healthier. Yeah. I've grown out of Tumblr humor, and Blue Sky's about right on that lane as of now. Yeah, that's fine. But like, if I actually go on Blue Sky and I want to see the art that my friends are posting or that people that I admire are posting, I get to see it, and I'm also not bombarded by fucking constant negativity or controversy or weird like political stuff being pushed into my face constantly all the time. Like, yeah, I'd much rather deal with the Tumblr era humor. Though I will say the funniest thing did happen recently on Twitter, and it's like, you see political stuff all the time, no matter the platform. I do not care about the USA. Hey, listen, as somebody from the USA and is currently in this nightmare hell state that we live in, um, yeah, no, sometimes I also don't want to see that because I'm like, yeah, shit sucks. I don't want to keep being reminded about how much shit sucks. More than my own country. It's just because like everything that happens in the U.S. has to be a fucking spectacle, and it's so. It's. Ugh. I remember my country is actually the fucking worst. I already know. I think a Tumblr dash any day from recycled discourse and the horrors of political climate on Twitter. Like, no thanks. He was right. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Oh, but it was funny seeing in real time. Um, Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss fans realize in real time that they are just the natural evolution of Homestuck fans, that they are descendants of Homestuck fans and fandom without realizing it. It was funny because it's like, yeah, no, we all knew. You guys were the only ones who didn't realize that. That shit was crazy. And it was all because of a single Homestuck animated thing being announced. Whoa, 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 we migrated to Undertale first, not too much. It's the same evolution. It's like literally, like almost like word for word, bar for bar, the same goddamn type of fandom, like descendant of each other. You can sit there and deny it all you want, but the Pokemon evolution line, one line is just terrible. Here's the thing: you say that one line is terrible. Which line? Which which line? Why am I in the void? Wait. Which line? Huh? Anyways. Why was I? Oh, I clicked the capture card one and it put me in the void. Oh god. Oh, the darkness. Obviously has been hotel. I'm gonna make no comment on any of this. I am interested in none of these things. I am not interested in Homestuck, in Has Been Hotel, in Hell of a Boss, any of that stuff. None of it is anything that I ever go near or appeals to me. So I will have no opinion of it one way or the other. I think I tried to read Homestuck one time and I immediately was like, yeah, no, I'm good. Same. I'm not the target audience of Homestuck. I think that's the best way I can like really say that. Like, and even to some degree, when it comes to this is the best way I can like describe Undertale is that Undertale is one of the most interesting games I will never play. Even though I have played Undertale. But it goes with Deltarune essentially as well. And like Deltarune is one of the most interesting games I will never play. Because it's like it's a cool concept. I like the idea of it, but it's like it also teeters on that kind of you know Tumblr-esque humor kind of thing, right? Um, and part of me is kind of just like it's charming, but it's definitely not something that I gravitate towards, you know. Um, Hopefully someday you get to these. I look, I'm gonna be real about Deltarune with folks or anybody who's like ever like, oh, I wonder if Crow will play Deltarune. I probably am not going to. Like honestly, because to me, Deltarune is one of those things that I think is more interesting to see people talk about than it is to actually like go and engage with. And I know that's such a weird thing, especially coming from me, because I'm very much somebody who likes to get hands on and everything. But for some reason, Deltarune, it just I don't know, it doesn't like call out to me in any way. I don't know why. I one time tried to read Homestuck. What happened? Something more does come of this show pilot, I do think having Homestuck in a show form will make it easier to consume. Didn't they also try to make Homestuck into a comic, like an actual, like straight, like real ass comic book at one point though too? Then something happened, but I don't remember that. I was like 14 and no good with English, and all those typing quirks lost me. I remember the first exposure I ever had to Homestuck was literally IRL. I was working at my grocery store, and this was like 2016, mind you. I was working at a grocery store, and there was a girl that came in like Homestuck cosplay. I forget what they're called, but it's like the demons, I guess, or what are they? What are they called? The like gray, the gray characters. What are they? The trolls? Yeah, one was dressed up as one of the trolls. This one was pretty healing playing for me recently because I was getting sick of I have to play this open world game with tons of walking and spread storytelling. Play Deltarune and it was just narrative focused humor. Uh feels all the time. I get that, but in that case I'll just play something I'll play like something else, you know what I mean? But like I get what you mean. I think for me it's just something about like it just doesn't I don't know, it just doesn't call out to me, you know? Like I don't know. It's weird to say that. But I definitely respect what it does for other people and the excitement it brings them and whatnot. Um, Also the music. No, yeah, music's great. Toby Fox is great at making music, but yeah, I don't know. That might be like that might be kind of disappointing for some people to hear me like that that's my take on Deltarune slash Undertale and stuff. But it's like it's just kind of how it goes, you know. I think they're amazing games, right? And I did play through Undertale, at least got one ending, but um yeah, overall I just yeah, it doesn't appeal to me or it doesn't call out to me. That's like me with Uma Musume. Yeah, understandable. 100% understandable, right? It's just about the theming and what it is. I think to some degree I do think the oversaturation of Deltarune kind of also was like whoa. There's just it's everywhere, you know. It kind of like it was like I couldn't go anywhere without seeing it, you know. And I remember the same thing happened with Undertale when it was like really at its peak. Like you could not go anywhere without seeing something Undertale related on the internet. And it's just a case of people being like super, you know, super excited about something, and I'll never take that away from anybody, but it just doesn't have the same effect on me. I miss all of it. Like I trained my eyes to avoid art because spoilers and took long to play. I wish I could do that, but no. Like even I would even go on TikTok and I would be like bombarded by Deltarune TikToks, and I'm like, I don't even play this game. Why am I getting these? And then against Undertale, but I had to mute it along with DCU in the Tumblr days. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like I have nothing against this, but like I cannot like it's just everywhere. It's just like everything, and I'm like, all right, you know, I don't know. I will say this: I think that those kind of games slash stories really uh are really geared towards like a younger audience for sure. And I know there are some like older folks and folks my age who have like play and enjoy them as well. But like I do definitely think that stories like Undertale and Deltarune stories definitely appeal to like much younger people. And like if I was like 19 or in my early 20s or something, right? Uh and I was playing like Undertale slash Deltarune for the first time, I'd be like, oh hell yeah. I'd be all over that stuff. Said that I want to fan art of Musume and Deltarune, so at a proper time. She wasn't spoiled for it. Somehow still very much enjoyed my playthrough, but that I did this year, I owe it a pacifist run for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing about like those games. They're very hyper specific on you getting the story firsthand for the first time and not having the twist sort of told to you, you know? Because unfortunately, with Undertale, that's pretty much the way people would sell that game to other people. It'd be like, okay, so here's the gimmick of the game, and like it would essentially be like major, like, oh, you're supposed to kind of discover this as you play, you know? Proper hype time, that is. I'm gonna be honest with you, Digsaw. If you want to draw any Oma Musume or Deltarune stuff, like you could just literally do it at any time. It's never gonna die because Deltarune is an episodic thing, so it's always going to be relevant in some way. Art's looking pretty great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm kind of working on two simultaneous like swimsuit stuff because I'm also working on this for my OC. So a lot of swimsuits being drawn lately. Do what I said in Dust Off stream. Thanks for drawing, yapping, and being cool for sure, Bun. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it, and I hope your stream goes well. I love how much you get excited about Belfie, Fiery. Do you like Belfie? I know you like Belfie. You might be her biggest fan. I forgot how to write her name properly. You guys, for anybody who was there during the stream where uh many subs were gifted. I've been on like high alert ever since then, and I've been like scared. I'm like, is Brofta gonna come back? Are they lurking, just waiting for a time to strike again? That was still wild to think about that happened. Threatening aura for real. They could be watching right now. All right, I'm gonna do a quick BRB. I am gonna go use the restroom, so we're gonna run some ads and also get up and stretch because I need to do that. Okay. All right, BRB time, chat. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm awake. Arise from my slumber. I'm back from my piss. I'm here to draw. Chicken fried. Okay. Don't do it. No. My cat keeps trying to jump on my lap while I'm streaming. I don't want her to. Because she will bite all my cables. Welcome back. How are you? You know? Yeah, I told you not to jump on my lap. Go. All right, let's get the rest of these flats, and then I'm probably gonna call it after that because it's getting late. It's getting a little late my time, so I wanna do a little bit of resting before it's time to sleep today. I don't know why I'm doing this accent. I'm I have a sickness, truly sick in the head, sick nasty. Jobzo has to wake up early tomorrow? Okay. Alright. What's it like having no money? You bitch. I'll show you a Jobzo. I'm sorry, Fiery. I came at you too strong. I'm sorry. I apologize. Why is Fire? What do you mean catching strays? He called me Jobzo. What do you mean? That's not a stray. That was a direct attack. That was a retaliation. He hit me with a fireball, and I hit him with a fucking magic missile. Crow. What do you mean crow dot dot dot? What? Don't you crow dot 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 me. Listen, if you're gonna fire at me, I'm gonna fire back. I've warned you. I'm sorry, Fire. I didn't mean that. I apologize. Please forgive me. It's cool. It's why I do it. You fucking. Oh my god. I hate the fact that every time somebody fires at me, Jerbear's like, Crow, how could you? How could you? How could you ever not just take this insult? And it's like, you son of a. How could my streamer possibly not take this L? I just think it's funny. What is that? What's the other thing? I apologize because immediately attacked. It's fucking. Look, this is the dynamic. I've told many people I'm not the ooh woo oh don't bully me kind of streamer. I'm like if you come at me, I'm coming at you too. So you know, don't come. Anyways. It's all part of the bit. What about the cycle of vengeance? You heard the man. Listen, we should not seek out revenge, right? We should not seek to continue the cycle of violence. But if somebody calls you a bitch, you have full right to call them a bitch back. Because you know, as they say, mama did not raise no bitch. I do like that Kim's swimsuit is like the most Capcom coded thing ever. Gotta draw Kim again someday. Yeah. This is technically the first time I'm drawing Kim, which is surprising to me. I meant to draw her a while back, but I just never got back around to doing it. Which owners I liked her swimsuit? Yeah, I'm doing Chun next. Then I'm saving Aki for last. And yes, I will draw Jamie face down, ass up, drunk out of his mind on the beach. You know, it's a game that I've been thinking about lately that I'm like, damn, I really wish that they would remaster or re-release that game. Every once in a while, I go through a phase where I remember Gitaru Man, and I'm like, dude, what a fucking what a cool ass game. It's like one of the least remembered rhythm games. It makes me so sad. It's so cool. It's probably got one of my favorite like soundtracks. If you guys have never seen Gitaru Man, you should look it up. It's awesome. That OST has been one of my go-to drawing BGMs ever since you recommended it, TBH. Oh, I'm so happy. What song? It's the what is it? The greatest song in the world. That song always fucking just gets me. It's so good. Color Kim's eyes. Black slash dark brown. I'm gonna make the can also yellow. Time for midnight sketching for you. Hell yeah. And there we go. There's a flat stun at least. And she also has makeup on. Oh yeah, also the Kim seriously is one of the strongest like newcomer designs they think they've ever designed for a Street Fighter character. To be honest, I think all the newcomers in 6 are really strong. Because a lot of them feel very classic Capcom, and I think that's what really like sells it. All right, I'll probably do some more touch-ups here and there, but I think it's gonna be it for me for today, everybody. I'm so glad that my internet decided to be nice to me after all, after I yelled at them. So technically I didn't yell. The lady on the line was very nice to me actually, so I don't want to be disingenuous about that. But yeah. Next stream is going to be on Thursday. Yay! Not streaming tomorrow, so yeah, Thursday come by and we'll probably do some more art streaming, honestly. But we'll see. But anyways, thank you so much everybody for stopping by. You know what? We can raid someone. Is anybody live right now? Who's live? Who's live that we can raid? Let me do this. I'll send you guys over to somebody else. Who am I following that's live? Oh, Bun is live. Bun, who was just in chat, who is a fellow artist. Go. She's also drawing right now. So, hey, go give Bun some love. All right. On that note, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I will see you later. Bye bye.